Let's talk about the big news that broke overnight, because a lot of folks focused on it already this morning. OpenAI posting on X that Sam Altman will now officially return as CEO. Former Salesforce CEO Bret Taylor and former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers will join AI's Open's board. Taylor was named board chair, and then Quora's CEO Adam D'Angelo will remain on the board. Altman posted on X, "I love OpenAI, and everything I've done over the past few days has been in service of keeping this team and its mission together. When I decided to join Microsoft on Sunday evening, it was clear that was the best path for me and the team. With the new board and with Satya's support, I'm looking forward to returning to OpenAI and building on our strong partnership with Microsoft." Now, in response, Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella posting in part, quote, "We encouraged by the changes to the OpenAI board. We believe this is a first essential step on a path to a more stable, well-informed, and effective governance." And ousted chairman Greg Brockman posting, "Returning to OpenAI and getting back to coding tonight." So he hit the keyboard. Meantime, he also posted this photo. Take a look. 2:41 a.m. Eastern Time with the comment, "We are so back." So the soap opera, I don't know if it's officially over, but it's. I think we're into extra innings at this point. It's pretty much done. Two things that struck me.
Like everything else, that was fast.
I don't know if it's done.
It looks pretty much done.
Right, there's probably going to be other elements to it.
I wonder if it raises questions. Yeah, if it raises questions from regulators, because this is clearly no longer a nonprofit.
Could Sam have said, OpenAI or ChatGPT, write me a "I'm staying" note? Because that's exactly how I would have said it. I love the team with the help of Larry. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say the two big things that struck me is the role of Bret Taylor. Bret Taylor had a major role at Twitter as the chairman of Twitter, and you can look at his role in Twitter both on a very good side, and there's a lot of people in the Valley who also see it on the very bad side. So on the very good side, he held strong, was able to sell that company for, frankly, probably twice as much as it was worth to Elon Musk, even though Elon was trying to get out of that deal. Some people think he stuck it to Elon. I think that Elon Musk thinks very poorly of him for lots of reasons, which is also interesting given the dynamic between Sam Altman and Elon's role in starting OpenAI. But there's another piece to this, which was that there were questions about the performance of Twitter when he was the chairman of the company as a business, and then a separate question about whether he should have actually sold that business to Elon Musk. If you remember, there were people on that board and others around Twitter that said, that it was, in terms of the virtue of it all, and I'm not saying it's the right thing or the wrong thing to do, but they ultimately, obviously, not only sold it to him and said this was their fiduciary duty to do so, but there were people who said that this was a public trust as well. In the same way, and the only reason I raise it, in the same way that OpenAI, if it is going to be a not-for-profit, we'll see whether the California state and the IRS wants to even leave it that way, would think about it as a public trust, if you will. So I think there's a lot of interesting elements there. Of course, I think the addition, though, of Larry Summers into this is an important one.
I agree.
Not because he's some technologist, but because of just, I think, how thoughtful he is about so many different issues about society and the implications, of course, that AI is going to have on it.
And maybe we're going to be back to one man's virtue is another man's vice too, because some people would say.
But some people have very negative views of that. Yes.
Like who made Twitter the public square? Was it the public square? Was the old Twitter a good public square? Is the new Twitter, depending on where you're sitting, a lot of people are saying now it's an actual public forum. Before it wasn't a public forum. So I wonder if we're going to go through all this with OpenAI.
I bet you are. And look, I think with his position there, Bret Taylor's position there, he followed through on his fiduciary responsibility to the shareholders.
Yes.
And I think that is what is
unless it was a not-for-profit.
If it's not for profit. Yeah. But I think what you've basically done is kind of thrown out this idea. It was written into the company's bylaws before, the not-for-profit's bylaws, but the organization's bylaws before, that everything that was done was going to be done for the good of all humanity, not for corporate interests. And I think this really challenges that entire creation for it. Is this going to be done for the good of Microsoft and the other investors? Which you can understand their point. They've put billions and billions of dollars in, but let's really look at this for what it is. This was a coup of the board over the weekend where they said, we're going to make sure that we're doing this in the best interest for humanity. And the investors pushed back and said, hold up.
Yeah, I think.
Right?
And then
we're going to make sure we have better governance, meaning we have more of a say in what happens here.
There are people that think that corporate interests and the good of humanity many times are aligned because a corporation can't function if it's not eventually going to be a positive.
This is a slightly different question.
In terms of hiring people, serving customers, paying
that
taxes,
part I agree with,
everything else.
However, that part I agree with. But if you're looking at the safety of a mission, and if you look at this the same way as, let's say, Oppenheimer, if you're looking at this as the
biotech,
potentially the most dangerous thing that's out there, do you want commercial interests driving that, or do you not? You know, could you imagine the Manhattan Project run by corporate entities?
Yeah.
Right. Now, that's actually the important point, Becky, because if you really think about it, you know, if it is that dangerous, maybe it should be a not-for-profit.
We don't know.
The conundrum in this case,
just about everything should be then, because if you really have.
What was interesting in this case, look, there are not-for-profits that do good things in America. I think I don't want to. I don't want to besmirch every not-for-profit and say because they're not-for-profit, they're somehow failing.
Well, the fire department's never going to turn a profit. Not that it's a not-for-profit, but there are things that need to be done and need to be funded. There's no doubt.
Right.
There's no doubt.
Right,
about
and then
it.
the question is, but how is it funded? And what happened in this instance, obviously, was Sam took a sort of unique approach, which is we're not-for-profit, but we need capital, and how are we going to get that capital? The sort of Silicon Valley way to get that capital is to effectively create a for-profit institution with investors like Microsoft and others who can provide not just cash in that case, but the services and the servers and all of the equipment that was needed to actually build this out. OpenAI could not have done this without some for-profit entities contributing a significant amount of compute power. That was always going to be the case.
I don't want to besmirch Sam Altman because he has done everything to say, okay, I'm not going to take a stake in this. I'm not going to do anything to make a profit. Basically, you know, he has done this himself and is somebody they all follow. So I don't want to besmirch it.
It is a great problem to have when you think of how powerful AI is going to be. I mean, we do need to make sure that it doesn't get out of control, but what it can do for healthcare and what it can do for computing and science. That's how it's so similar to biotech. Biotech can be, look what biotech is going to deliver to us in terms of, you know, quality of life and how long we live. But let's say someone decides to do something just unbelievably horrific with
mess with COVID, like create COVID,
like gain of function. You know, yeah, but you can imagine that it. But isn't it a great problem to have? But then we just got to make sure that we're wary and you know that it can be, you know, used for terrible things, or it could get out of control, or something, or there could be an accident.
Honestly, thinking about some of these things, and I hope they spend a lot of time on that.